Hi guys, TinaGale here, and we're at day 3 of the 31 videos for July. And this is the product that I've pulled. One of the challenges for me was to pull out some embellishments and paper that I haven't used that's been in my stash for a while. So I have some things from Cocoa Vanilla, October Afternoon. This is crepe paper to use for a title, and then I had these stickers as well. This collection is from close to my heart. It's called Victory, and it's at least a couple of years old, probably much older than that. I would have to look at the date. But it's a really great guy collection, and I didn't have any embellishments for it, so that was a perfect collection for me to pull out to go along with the challenge of using up some of my older stash of embellishments. That a lot of these are embellishments that I've kind of used up the paper, but still have embellishments left, and so this is a great little pair. So I'm just going to put all of my embellishments over here in this little container that I got and start working on the layout. So I took this paper that's kind of like a ledger and antiqued the edges, cut about a ½ inch off 2 different sides, and I'm going to adhere it to some of the brown cardstock. I wanted to kind of stain up the background, so I just really dirtied up here where I'm going to build up my layers. And in the end, you don't see too much of it. And some people would say it was kind of a waste of time. You don't notice it, but it is noticeable just enough to give a little bit of dimension and interest. So my thought with this design is I'm going to build it up vertically on the left-hand side. And I just have some really fun pictures that I'm going to be working with today. So what I decided was I wanted a strip about 4 to 5 inches to go down, and then I cut my other paper 6 by 6. And you might say, why didn't you pull out your 6 by 6 paper pads? Yep, that would have been really smart because I have a lot that need to be used, and that's kind of on my list as well. But I really liked this paper for the photo that I have. So that's what I did. I cut them up. But if you have a 6 by 6 paper pad, then this is a great design. Even this background piece here you can get from your 6 by 6 paper. So all you need is your large background, and you could recreate this as well. So I would encourage you, while we're doing these 30 days of videos, scrap along with this. Pick out some of the challenges. Just get inspiration somehow from what we're sharing. Then be sure to share back with us as to what you're creating. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this photo while I start deciding about embellishments. It's a picture of my husband's shoes, and you might ask, why are you scrapping pictures of your husband's shoes? Which is what my daughter said when she came in and saw the layout. She's like, why are you scrapping Dad's shoes? And so part of my journaling is about these shoes, and my husband is not a neat freak by any means. That's just not one of his strong suits. And so one day I had walked into the bedroom and went over to put some clothes up in his drawers, and I looked down and I see these shoes all lined up perfectly, and even the shoelaces were laid just so. And I just started cracking up. I couldn't figure out what was going on with his shoes. In fact, I thought he did it as a joke for me to find. And he heard me laughing and come in and wanted to know what the deal was. And I was like, what is up with the shoes? And he's like, what? I like my shoes lined up. I don't want them like under the bed or, you know, on top of each other and all of that. And so it just made me laugh even more. So the journaling reads that neatness has never been one of your strengths. So when I noticed all your shoes lined up, I couldn't stop laughing. Evidently, that is one area that order matters. 30 years and I'm still learning about your little quirks. So it's just documenting a day in the life and just little nuances that most people wouldn't know, and maybe my kids later on will look back at these albums and read that and get a kick out of it. But that was one of the things on my list when I was trying to get organized for this 31 days of videos. Was some things that I wanted to do. One was to find odd little snapshots that I had taken that had stories behind them, that, you know, if someone looked at this photo of these shoes, they would have no clue why I took a picture of the shoes. So I want to document those stories. And so there's a lot of photos that I pulled that are just one photo, and it's more about the story than it is a lot of pictures. So that was one thing that I'm doing in this 31 days of videos. Some of the other things, so if you want to scrap, you know, for whatever reason you want to get a lot done, or maybe you just want some ideas, I thought I would kind of share a little bit of my list and what I was doing while you sit and watch me kind of embellish this. It's kind of no-brainer. I don't know. I'm not doing anything spectacular. But the list that I started kind of writing down to get me going was that I needed to find photos that, you know, I would have out. I didn't have to go hunting for them. So one of the things was pictures like this that I wanted to tell stories of. I chose sketches, different challenges. There's all kinds of challenges on Facebook and blogs. Different companies and stuff have them. So I had saved some of those so that they would be ready. I have boards on Pinterest of layouts that I've saved for inspiration, or I want to scrap lift. So I've went through and picked out some of those that I really want to work on. Another thing I would suggest is using kits. So I have scrap room kits and kits from other places that I've bought up, and you know, I still have. So everything is so much faster when you're working with a sketch, because you're not wasting time going and looking for product or trying to figure out what to use. So that was one of my other things. Scrap lifting, I already kind of talked about, but there were several things that I wanted to do. And then I want to start matching up pictures to product. And then it's going to be ready, and I can sit down and do a layout in just a little bit of time, even if my family's here and interrupting. So, you know, those are some of my tips that I just started off with that you might want to try if you want to get some scrapbooking done quickly, or, you know, just be more productive, or, you know, make things easier. So that's just my 2 cents worth. Now, what I've done here is just start on the embellishing, and I just used a little bit of everything. So October afternoon, I used a label from the 5 and Dime collection that was up at the top. The Daily Flash chipboard, I love that camera, so I wanted to put that in. And the rest of them, the Amazing, and this film strip, and the little circle here, and the glittered stars, all of those are from Cocoa Vanilla, and it's 2 different collections. It's Made of Awesome and Rad. So I just have all of them together in one little container because it's my leftovers, and so I just kind of store all of those by manufacturer, and if I have a lot, then it goes by collection, but this one's kind of down to the ends. But I loved the little black glittery stars. I thought that really gave a pop. And then that little star paper clip, that's also from Cocoa Vanilla. And the cork pieces was that Crepe Paper Journey. So I decided to use the smile for my title, and then I just added in these arrows into each one of the 3 clusters, and then that little circle says every day is an adventure. So I thought that was perfect, and then I put the arrow underneath it, and then that's where my journaling is going to go. I also couldn't resist adding the little mustache in just to finish out that little cluster. So here are some still shots. Be sure to come back tomorrow for the 4th of July, my 4th layout, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.